St. Augustine, Florida is often referred to as the Ancient City. Originally founded in 1565 by Spanish Admiral Pedro Menendez de Avilés, Florida's first governor, it has fallen into the hands of numerous countries over the centuries, but retains a strong Spanish colonial influence. This historic destination has seen more than its share of war and disease through the years. It has been said that no matter where you walk in the ancient city, there are the remains of a body somewhere underneath. With a reputation like that, it's no surprise that there's something new to discover around every corner.
So when I first moved to Florida, I made a lot of trips from Jacksonville down to St. Augustine, which is one of my favorite cities in the whole world. And I was already into cemetery stones. When have I not been? But I was out really exploring this old town, going down the little streets that are sort of out of the way from the tourist area. And one day I was out here walking around and I completely stumbled upon this.
Located in St. Augustine National Cemetery, slightly south of the historic Castillo de San Marcos, stand three mysterious stone pyramids. Constructed of naturally occurring coquina stone quarried from the banks of the nearby Matanzas Bay, these 8-foot-high monuments stand as silent guardians over the remains of 1,468 U.S. soldiers who rest below. 110 of these soldiers, under the command of Major Francis L. Dade, were ambushed and slaughtered by Seminole warriors while on a march through Florida, Seminole Indian Territory, in 1835. In 1842, the remains of those who fell at Dade's last command were brought to St. Augustine, where they were laid to rest under the monuments. The remaining bodies consist of unidentified soldiers who perished during the Second Seminole War.
One of the things that's really interesting about these stones is not necessarily that they're pyramid shaped. This was a very common type of form at the mid to late 19th century. The Egyptian style was very popular at the time. It is, though, interesting that there is not one, but three. It's very strange to me because you would think if they were putting all of the bodies in one place, it would be under one monument. It would be under one big monument, and there you'd have the plaque or whatever, like this obelisk here. This makes sense as a unified memorial. But here, somebody made the choice at some point to split it into three pyramids. Does that remind you of anything? It reminds me of something. It reminds me of the pyramids in Egypt. The money for these came from fellow soldiers who pooled their money together to build this memorial, and so it was a common fund that everybody supplied. But who chose the shapes of these? At the bottom, the very bottom of the official report at the time, it mentions that the parade was led by the Masons, which is the Masonic Society, the Freemasons. Now, that lends a whole other layer to these pyramids. When these were first built, they were covered with a layer of white stucco, much like these walls are here. It would have looked like that. Now, at some point during weathering over the years, of which there's been a lot here on the coast, the stucco was worn away. Now, you would expect, being hallowed ground, being an ongoing memorial, that somebody would have come along and re-stuccoed these, made them white again, made them smooth, but they didn't. They have been left as they are. But that also echoes the pyramids of Egypt, the three pyramids. At one time, the outer walls on each of those also had a smooth stone. So that all that's gone now. It's been removed over the years, fallen away over the years, and all that's left are, the model brick shape. I find it possible that at some point the question was raised, should we re-stucco these and make them white and smooth again? And somebody said no. And the only reason I can imagine is that there was a thought of, well, that's even more like what we intended when we built these. I love this monument for the imagery of it, for how unexpected it is to find something like this here. It's just very striking. But at the same time, if you're a taphophile, if you're into cemeteries, you know, it's a hard thing to rectify because this is hallowed ground. It is a sacred place. But what they were doing is repulsive. Trying to basically exterminate a people. This is something we're always dealing with. You know, it's like when I come here, I pause. I do feel for the fallen. I feel for the other fallen. I feel that the story that these tell isn't just about heroics, and it isn't just about loyalty and country. A true student of life, a true historian, must also use these and inform these with what you bring to it. And these days, we are fortunate to be grasping a bigger picture of past atrocities. We are fortunate. I use that word very intentionally, because how do we grow if we don't learn?
I wanna feel the sun, I wanna feel the warmth on my face, see the light of day, remind me what it means.
Hey, if you enjoyed the music you just heard in this video, I invite you to check out my full-length albums that can be found if you visit paulramey.hearenow.com. Everything you just heard and a lot more is available for streaming and download on your preferred music listening platform. Thanks so much for your support, and I will talk to you soon.